Like when your phone said, you want to it's free, I can get you on it. And like you my lover, that's what you call it. But when you wake up, and like the war Rex, I just I was never know I should've let my feelings show. I can't let you come and go, you killing me. That's wrong. I hate rejection, but when you up, say you say no. I said rejection, but when you up, say you say no. You say you want me, girl? I already know. You don't know the name. Yeah, baby.
Greetings, people of the world, internets. You are now tuning in with King Midi, 1/4 of the Africanist, and you're tuned in to Afropreneurs.
Music, it continues to be the gateway for so many individuals to change their life around and ultimately live a life only one could imagine. Many try and even more fail, and only the blessed crossed over. So what does it take to make it to the main stage? Do you chase your passion at any expense, all odds against you, or do you give up? We sit with the local artist, poet, man on a mission, on a grind to get to the main stage, DMV's own Gsuave.
We have Gsuave with us here.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
My guy. So first of all, what's your name? Your real name?
My real name, okay, it's a little bit long. It's Emmanuel Oyejide Ezekiel Mountain Oluwa Damilare Zamba.
Wait, you have mountain in your name?
Mountain.
The way you said it sounded like mountain.
It's spelled like mountain with a centipede over the U.
That would have been a better hip hop name.
Hey.
Mountain.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of that.
So I've read about you, and I know you're a rapper, but tell the people how you got into rapping.
With rapping, it was funny. I was in 9th grade, and I used to write raps as a joke. I had 9th grade English class. The teacher's name was Mr. Copeland. I can't forget him. So I remember he was just like a funny teacher. He always had us doing writing exercises. So I just started writing raps, and I had the nasty Nokia. This is the first touchscreen phone.
Oh, the one with the snake game on it?
Yeah, so I had that, and I used to just write little snippets, like little 8-bar raps in my notes, and I would send a mass text to different people. Hey, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? So before I knew it, like my 10th grade year, I started taking it more serious, just writing every day. It became a constant thing, and I felt like, okay, I really like it, and I was getting better. Like before, the mass text, people used to, you suck, trash. And then people were like, oh, okay, like, all right, that was good. And, you know, from there, it's been history.
Not to date you, but around what time were you in 9th grade?
I was in 9th grade, 2009, 2008, 2009.
All right, sheesh, I'm older than you. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, at what point did you really decide, like, all right, you know, let me take this serious? Like, did you start, like, just after 10th grade, just get in the booth, start spitting hot fire? Or
I felt like it was just a passion. Like, for me, I don't want to sound cliche, but a 9 to 5, I didn't see myself doing that. I'm an entertainer. If you ask any of my friends or people around me who know me, closest people, I'm an entertainer in general. Just not even just with rap, but I tell stories. So even first off, before that, somebody pointed out to me that, okay, like, you're a good storyteller. Like, your stories are just, like, every time you talk, your stories are funny. And I feel like I incorporated that with my music. I didn't even know, like, when I'd rap, it wouldn't just be like punchline, or just make words rhyme. It would actually be telling a story. So I felt like once I started doing that more frequently, and I won't lie, I'm an attention whore. So it's just like, it's a high in a way. I know it sounds corny, but to be able to know that I can do something, whatever I do, I can get a reaction out of you, that makes me feel happy. And I just like it. It's like a drug, and I just like that. So once I started seeing I could do that with my raps in 2009, 2010, it just became like, okay, what can I do next? How can I top the last thing I just did? So it became a gradual thing. Every day, write this. And then I'd spit a rap, come to school. People were like, bro, like, that joint was hard. And then before I knew it, I just loved it.
True. So how'd your parents feel about this?
At first, it was a hobby at first. It was just like, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. At first, I used to, I wanted to wrestle. Back in the day, I used to go to, there was a wrestling academy in Forestville. So like when I was 10, I was wrestling the 16-year-olds because I was like too big. And then like my high school year, I made it to nationals. I placed 5th in nationals with wrestling because like when I was younger, I used to watch WWE. My favorite wrestlers used to be The Rock and John Cena. So when I'd watch that, that's all I thought about. And then acting. So like with music, what was the question again?
Like, how did your parents feel about it?
My mom, she liked it. She took me to my friend's house. His name was Tekla. That was the first studio. So I remember I was like, I'm going to the studio. She laughed, and she was like, okay, cool. And my dad, when he was younger, he used to be with a lot of DJs. So like he had like crates full of like, it'd be like Paula Dean?
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul, excuse me. Paula Abdul, Heavy D, different artists like that. So he was supportive. And then it wasn't until, I want to say, 2014, my mom really started like noticing that, okay, it's not just a hobby, like he's good at it. It'd be the African aunties at church. Your son is good. I just saw your son, or I saw a video, and she was just like, okay, as long as, she just wants me to be successful, pretty much. So it's just like, okay, as long as he's good and he can make a living out of this, then I support it 100%.
So, but how do you feel like that conflict? Because that's not the typical response you get from an African parent. They want you to go to school, get a degree, and like, you know, be productive in society.
I really love my mom. Like, my mom is funny. She's not like, she doesn't have the traditional African mindset. So with a lot of, just me, my upbringing, the way she treated me and my brother, it was just crazy. Like, we still had the everyday African struggles, but she was more lenient to like the decisions that we made. So just even with that, she does want me to go back to school. That's one thing, you know, as a parent, it's just, okay, it's pretty much, it's just something to be able to brag to your friends. Look at what my child did. So her thing, she just wants me to be successful. She does want me to go back to school, but if she sees that, okay, I can make a living off of music, she has no choice but to support it.
True. Now to get into some of the music, I've listened to your music, and for some reason your sound comes off like a Phil Ade to me. Your voice, maybe it's just your vocals,
Okay.
and it sounds more like Phil Ade a bit to me. So is that someone you look up to, or do you think it's just like the sound of the area?
That's the first time I've heard Phil Ade. I've listened to, I liked his music. I've heard some of his music, but I'll say before I started rapping, I grew up more so on Wale. I'm influenced by Wale with the poetry side, and just the fact that it was a lot of similarities. We went to the same type of church. He was an African PG, like that was somebody, and he made like music he made conscious music, like, and it was refreshing to listen to. That was even before I started rapping, so that was somebody I looked up to, and Fat Trail as well. That's when I started rapping. Fat Trail, I watched battle rap.
Yeah, I think he blew up around the same time.
2009, 2010, he had the wonton soup and all that extra stuff. So I remember I watched battle rap, Smack DVDs and all of that. So I'm big on like aggression. I like just the fact you get in somebody's face so like they feel it, like what you're talking about. And Fat Trail, he embodies that. So like I remember I would look, like those were two influences that I had coming up.
It's interesting. Because to me, I feel like when it comes to African rappers in this area, Phil Ade is somebody I look at, he's underrated.
Very.
Because he has that vocal talent, but his like, the way he writes is also good too. So it's like, your flow reminded me of him when I was hearing one of your songs. I think it was the Something Love.
Auckland freestyle.
Yeah, it might have been the freestyle because you had the different beat switching up like Wale's
Auckland
ADD.
freestyle, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I was inspired by
that.
his ADD, yeah.
Speaking of Ak Love, what's the meaning behind that?
Ak is Islamic and Hebrew term for brother. I'm big on brotherhood. So Ak Love, I'm big on spreading brotherly love. My thing was back in the day in high school, my friends, we'd make jokes because like that was around the time everybody wanted to be Muslim. Everybody, you see the next week, you see somebody's Christian one week, and the next week they got a kufi on their head, and you know we'd make jokes.
That was a trend?
It was a trend, yeah. So we'd make jokes. We'd be like, "Hey, what's good, Op?" And then like people used to, "Oh, you Muslim?" Nah. And they'd be like, "What?" Like, and it was a joke making fun of them, but I felt like after a while, the way my friends would act, I just felt like that was a brotherhood. So just with the name Ak, I was like, okay, cool. Like with my friends, they know like I'm loyal. My friends, they're loyal with me as well. So, you know, they can hit me up, they can call me, or vice versa, and we just know that we have each other's back. I'm big on spreading peace and positivity, so I feel like that's the main thing. That's what a brother is for, to be able to guide you, help you out when you need love, when you need advice on just anything. So that's why I chose the name Ak Love.
Now, do you feel like you're bringing that Ak love to the African community?
Of course. I did a lot of ASA shows, universities. Since 2013, I've done different universities all over Maryland, like University of Maryland, Bowie State, Towson. I felt like that helped. It was like practice, pretty much. So when I first came out, like I was making music, but like with the shows, I wasn't doing a lot. So I'd audition for different ASAs, and I felt like the market that I had, a lot of people who know me and my music are African. So I feel like I embody what an African artist should be like.
Because there's a lot of love right now in the African community for artists now. Like you have Olamide who raps in Yoruba. So do you ever feel the need to like rap in Yoruba in your songs too, or?
So this is the thing. So I could barely speak Yoruba.
Oh,
I know it's
Shogba Yoruba.
I understand that, yeah. So, all right, it's a crazy story. I'll talk about the story real quick. When my brother was born, my mom and dad, they would speak Yoruba and English to my brother. So at a young age, he got confused. I forgot what age it was. They said he got confused and he just stopped talking for like 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
And like the doctor was just like, it's like not rare, but it's like a common thing that, okay, like he doesn't know, you're speaking two languages to him, so he doesn't know.
Which is which? Yeah,
so they just started speaking English. And then when I was born, it's just like, all right, they speaking English to me. So it is something I want to learn, I'm not going to lie, but I just know like the basics, like bare minimum.
Dang. What was your fucking moment then? Since that's your favorite word now.
Fucking, I had so many. Wow. Dropping out of college.
Dropping out of college?
Yeah.
That's the moment you decided like, yo, now I have to take it serious, or?
I already knew I wanted to take it serious, but that just showed that, okay, like, you're not in school. This is like the blueprint to success, school, education. So if you're willing to do that, you have to work 10 times harder than somebody who has the degree. Because even if they have a job or not, they still have that plaque, that thing on the wall that says, hey, look, I put in my work. So now you're looking at me like, what work have you put in? So that's for me just showing like, okay, regardless of the stereotype or what anybody says, I can do it, and I know I'm going to do it.
So with that, do you have any fears about the path you've taken towards this career?
I've had some, I won't lie, because as a human, you know, some things are just like scary, but I watched one Steve Harvey video and he was talking about jumping. Don't be afraid to jump. Like, you can't get to the next platform if you don't jump. Like, being stagnant doesn't always work. Like, some people are just, you have a good job, you can have a good job, but if it's not what you love to do, then you're not gonna like that job. Yeah. It could pay you $1 million, this, that, the third, but you see some people, they're even happy being a garbage man, just random like that. There's some people, if that's what they love to do, if they'll wake up early in the morning, even if it doesn't pay them that much, or there's some people who are teachers. Teachers don't make as much as they should, but the fact that they wake up knowing that they're impacting someone else's life, that makes them happy. So I feel like the same way for me.
So tell everybody where they can follow you. What's your social media handle where they can see you at, get new music?
Gsuave on Twitter, Gsuave_. And on Instagram, it's Gsuave, Gsuave. SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Gsuave. I have my own website, gsuave.com. Google Gsuave, Gsuave, and you'll find me everywhere.
All right, this has been King Mitty, 1/4 of the Africanus. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Afropreneurs.
Suave came through, now it's hard beating. Throwing elbows, knock a nigga teeth in. You flexing for the hoes, why the hell we speaking? I'm speechless. Came through, y'all need this. Hold up, I can't sell my soul not for nothing. These niggas out here hating, man, they all up to something. Throwing dirt up on your name, leave your business in public. Quick to make a tweet, but how you muting the functions? Oh, did it? They say that I was gonna be a problem. Got up on the road, though, looking back full throttle. Story of my life, I pen my pain, here's a novel. Kill with punches like Bravo, swat the best I know. When I come through, all these niggas losing sleep. When I step in with my mom, you know we deep. When I break some bread to see my people eat, I got to get this money, man, by any means. Oh, when I come through, all these niggas losing sleep. When I step in with my mom, you know we eat. When I break some bread to see my people eat, I got to get this money, man, by any means. When I